Now, before we dive in, there's going to be an exclusive link down below for sakitech viewers, which will get you a $50 instant Samsung credit, as well as a $100 eCertificate, plus a free memory upgrade when you order the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra. Hey guys, Sak here from sakitech, and in today's video, we are going to be talking about the Samsung Galaxy S24 versus the S24 Plus versus the S24 Ultra. So Samsung has released 3 brand new smartphones, and there's a lot of similarities and differences between these smartphones. So in this video, I'm going to dive in, compare every aspect of these smartphones, and you can decide which one is going to be the right fit for you. So again, we'll look at all the differences and all the similarities, and at the end of the video, we're going to do a conclusion, and I'll let you guys know which one I would decide based on all the various metrics. So let's dive in and get started right away. Let's start by talking about the design. Now, real quick, the pricing. The S24 Ultra is $1,300. The S24 Plus is $1,000. The S24 is $800. So as we go through the video, keep these prices in mind. Obviously, the higher the price, you get more features. And in this video, we are going to clarify all that stuff. What you get for what you pay. Alright, so when it does come to design, there are some differences. The S24 Ultra is the only smartphone that is going to have that titanium frame around the edges, and it does look gorgeous. It's a nice smooth matte finish, and then on the rear and on the front we do have the Gorilla Glass armor. So it certainly has premium build quality. Now the S24 Plus and the S24 also have Gorilla Glass armor for the front display and the rear design. However, the frame around the device is actually armor aluminum, which by the way is a high quality material, but it's not going to be as premium as the S24 Ultra. You can also see that the S24 Ultra has that nice square boxy design from the front. S24 Plus and the S24 do have slightly rounded edges in the front, which some people might prefer over the square, boxy, professional design of the S24 Ultra. Regardless though, all these phones do feel premium in hand, and they're all high quality as far as design and build is concerned. By the way, here's all the colors for the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra. We have the titanium gray, my favorite, titanium yellow, titanium black, and titanium violet. And here are all the color options both for the S24 and the S24 Plus, which do offer the same exact color options. These are all the standard color options, which you will see when you use links below. Now, the next thing I want to talk about has to do with the display. You can see very clearly that the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra has the largest display. It is 6.8 inches. The S24 Plus is not that far away. It is actually 6.7 inches. So it is in fact a large phone. Now the S24 is actually dramatically smaller at 6.2 inch display. So right here, if you don't want a small display, then you have to discard the S24 from your buying choice. The largest displays are going to come with the S24 Ultra and the S24 Plus. Beyond that, when you look at the quality of the display, they are all virtually identical. They all have the same peak brightness of 2600 nits. They all use the same technology, which is dynamic AMOLED technology. But there is a minor difference because the S24 has a smaller display. It also has a slightly lower resolution at full high definition plus, while the S24 Ultra and the S24 Plus have quad high definition plus displays. But all phones have a 120 Hz display refresh rate, and they are capable of going from 1 Hz to 120 Hz as needed to maximize battery life. So that's the display. The most dramatic difference that I will look at is the display size. Everything else, for the most part, is nearly equal in quality. Even though the smaller S24 has the lower resolution, it doesn't matter because the display is smaller, so you can get away with slightly reduced resolution. Also, one of the benefits of the S24 is because it is so small, it is really easy to handle and use with one hand. But as you go larger in the S24 lineup, it just becomes harder to handle with one hand alone. But that's just the nature of the beast, and it's all going to be a matter of personal preference. Just something I thought you might want to know. Alright, so let's move on and talk about the software. Now with the software, again, it's all the same. All these phones are running the latest One UI 6.1 interface with Android 14, which means you get the same exact software features, and also the S24 series in general have powerful AI capabilities, and the good news is every single one of these devices are going to have the AI features built into them with the exact same functionality. So when you do go to the settings, for example, and go to advanced features, you are going to see this generative AI features, and these features are in fact available in all three smartphones to their maximum potential. So same exact software functionality. But when it comes to software, just keep in mind one thing. S24 Ultra is the only phone that's going to have the S Pen and S Pen related functions like sketching, writing, taking notes, and a whole bunch of other S Pen features that are standard with the Ultra series. So you are able to remotely control your phone with the S Pen as a remote control. You have all types of air command functionalities. These are going to be the perks of the S Pen, only available on the S24 Ultra. So if you want that S Pen, S24 Ultra is the only way to go. But if you don't care about the S Pen, then you can continue looking at other options. Let's keep digging in. Let's talk about the performance and storage options. So all these smartphones are going to be equally powerful because they have the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 processor, which is going to be a rock solid processor. Only the S24, the smallest model, will have Exynos in some markets, but in other markets it's going to have the Snapdragon processor. So when you look at the Snapdragon equipped S24s, they all perform similarly as far as processing and graphics are concerned. So any hardcore software, any games are going to play equally well. Now, one thing to keep in mind, the S24 Ultra and the S24 Plus are going to have base 12 gigabytes of RAM. The S24 is a little bit lower. It is going to be 8 gigabytes of RAM. So again, if that bothers you, then you want to start looking at the S24 Plus and the S24 Ultra. They do have 12 gigabytes of RAM in all storage models. Regardless though, the RAM quality that's found in these smartphones is top-notch. And also with the S24 Ultra, you can get 256 gigabyte storage all the way up to 1 terabytes of storage. With the S24 Plus, you can get 256, 2512 maximum. With the S24, it is 128 to 256 maximum. So if you do take a lot of photos and a lot of high resolution videos, maybe again you want to look at the S24 Plus or the S24 Ultra if you want more storage, especially 512 and up. So that's the performance and storage options. And also I want to talk about the camera, but before I do want to mention that all these three phones have wireless charging. They've got IP68 water resistance. They do have reverse wireless charging, so you can charge other wireless compatible accessories on the back of these smartphones like the Galaxy earbuds or even another phone. And they all have built-in fingerprint sensors in the display as far as biometrics are concerned. And finally, they all have stereo speakers with Dolby Atmos sound built into it. So again, you can see there's a lot of similarities and also a lot of differences. And one more thing, all these phones, all three models, have the latest Wi-Fi 6E for super fast connectivity in all situations. Now let's talk about the camera. So the S24 Ultra is going to have the most advanced camera system. It's going to have 4 cameras. We're going to have a 200 megapixel main camera, a 12 megapixel ultra wide camera, a 50 megapixel telephoto camera with up to 5 times optical zoom, and another 10 megapixel telephoto camera with up to 3 times optical zoom. And it's also going to be capable of 100x space zoom, so you can zoom into far away objects. And using AI, it's going to make sure these images are going to be as sharp as possible. Now the S24 Plus and the S24 actually have the same exact camera system. We have a 50 megapixel main camera, we have a 12 megapixel ultra wide camera, and then we have a 10 megapixel telephoto camera with up to 3 times optical zoom. So you can see there's a big difference between the camera systems. If you want the most premium, most powerful camera system, that's going to be the S24 Ultra. And by the way, all these smartphones, all 3 of them have the same 12 megapixel selfie camera on the front. Now, another category that is very important is going to be the battery. There are some nuances here that you want to be aware of. First and foremost, the largest battery is going to be S24 Ultra, 5,000 milliamp hours, S24 Plus, 4,900 milliamp hours, and S24 4,000 milliamp hours. When it comes to charging these smartphones, only the S24 Ultra and the S24 Plus support fast 45-watt charging. That means you can charge either one of these phones from 0 to 65% battery in 30 minutes. The small S24 only supports up to 25-watt charging, and you are able to charge from 0 to 50 in 30 minutes. So it does have slightly slower charging speeds than the S24 Plus and the S24 Ultra, and it's got the smallest battery. But because the S24 also has the smallest display, you don't really need that much more battery. So the battery life is going to be pretty good, but the charging speed is in fact slower. So those are the stats in relation to the battery. Alright, so we have talked about every metric about these smartphones. Let's wrap this up and see what's going on. Which one should you buy? Now remember guys, don't forget to use the exclusive links down below to get that $50 extra credit you're not going to get anywhere else, and also to get the best discounts and the best incentives and the best freebies. Those links are going to be down below. So the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra is going to be bringing the largest display, the best camera system, the S Pen functionality, and the highest build quality with the titanium. It's also going to have the largest battery, and for all that, you're going to pay the premium price and get the best. That's what some people want, and that might be you. Now for $300 less, the S24 Plus is in fact formidable because it still has a large and crisp display, still has a massive battery, great speakers, and offers premium experience for those that don't want the S Pen or the advanced camera system. So that's the S24 Plus. And then finally, you have the S24, the most inexpensive model, which is still a powerful smartphone, easily usable with one hand, and in most cases, completely equal to the S24 Plus, but for the size. And of course, as long as you get the Snapdragon variant, it's going to be equally as powerful. The only downside is going to be that the maximum storage it offers is only going to be 256 gigabytes. So that's one thing to keep in mind if you anticipate needing more storage for the type of usage you put into a phone. So those are the highlights between these smartphones. Now personally, I'm going to get the S24 Ultra as I simply want the best, and also specifically want the larger display, the S Pen, and the advanced camera system. That is my personal choice. And again, it's all going to be based on you personally. You just have to look at all the metrics carefully relative to the price you're willing to pay and go with that option. And that will be the end of this video. But if you do have any questions, comments, or concerns, drop them down below, and also let me know which one are you going to buy and why. All right, guys, for now, have a fantastic day. See you guys in the next video.